Today we are going to look at the MX Master Mouse. Is it still applicable for video editors in 2022? Oh, and by the way, at the end of this video, I am going to blend a Big Mac meal together and drink it for your entertainment purposes. Can I go for a large Big Mac meal? So wait around for then to see how on earth that goes. Let's take a look at this incredible piece of kit and see what it has to offer. So first of all, you can download the Logi Options software from the Logitech website. So if we go into that now, and you're greeted once you've installed it and signed in with this interface. Now the brilliant thing about this actually is if you create an account with Logitech, it will actually upload all your settings so you can use it across different platforms and the different computers that you use. So that is pretty darn amazing, I have to say. The beauty of this mouse really is that it has several buttons to it. So you've got obviously the scroll wheel, which isn't actually sort of programmable, I don't think, in of its own right. But within that scroll wheel, you have a clickable button, so you can actually click on the scroll wheel button itself and use that as a button. You've also got this button here in the middle, which I've heard some people use as a mode button, and you've also got the thumb button, which is a bit sort of, when I first got the mouse I was like, where is the button? But it is actually built into this side area, and you can just simply click it with your mouse with your thumb and it will do the job. Also, you've got these side buttons here, so you've actually got a side scrolling wheel. So this button is particularly useful if you want to scroll horizontally in Final Cut. That's where it really comes into its own. And then you've got two buttons here additionally, which are great for things like moving from one track to the next, or going forward and back in your internet browser, that type of thing. Smashing, thanks a lot, see ya. Now, really where this software comes into its own is the fact that you can program it and tailor it to multiple applications. So not only can you've got this selection here, but you can actually click into different softwares and add applications and really customize it for that application. And as soon as you leave that application, it sort of defaults back to the all application settings. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility. So if we go into Final Cut Pro, the Final Cut Pro settings, you can see here that what I've done is I've clicked on here, and there's a load of different options that you can select. My personal favourite really has to be the one that I'm using sort of the most, and that's keystroke assignment, because with that with this selected, you can actually enter any keystroke that you want here. So if I put Command B for blade in Final Cut Pro, it will do that. If I wanted Command T for transitions, I can do that. In this instance, I'm going to leave it to delete because that's what I've set it to, but it's just so powerful in terms of the customization abilities. And I've not been using this mouse very long, but I can see that this will speed up my video editing workflow no end when I start really getting to grips with using these buttons. So I've also got keystroke assignment to Command B for the middle. So I've got this set to Command and backslash, and I'll show you a bit about what I've programmed that to do in a minute. I've also got this to horizontally scroll in Final Cut Pro, and I've got this to forward to the next clip, and this one correspondingly to go back to the next clip, and I'll show you those in action now. So we've got this clip in here, so if I wanted to delete this clip, I can simply click the mouse wheel as I programmed it down, so I can just click there and the clip is gone. So I'm going to edit undo. If I want to blade cut the clip up, I can just hit this button here and simply click down, and it's bladed it. If I then want to trim this clip down, I've programmed in the settings, and I've still got to sort of work on sort of figuring out all of this, but you can actually go to Final Cut Pro, Commands, Customize, and then you can tailor settings to meet your needs. So you can actually, I've created my own sort of setting there. Yeah, so what I've done is created command and backslash to trim to playhead. So if we come out of there and say we wanted to trim this clip down, all I need to do on my mouse then is hit the thumb button. So click there and it's trimmed to the playhead, and say I want to come over here and trim the end here, I can then click that and it's trimmed the other end, and I've got my clip down to where I want it to be. And of course, let me just create a few more clips to show you the other buttons. So if I just hit the middle button for blade, so I've got a few clips there, and say I wanted to bounce between these clips, I can hit these two up and down buttons. They're a bit hard to see, but there's actually two buttons there. So if I hit down, it goes back, and if I hit up, it goes forward, down, forward, down, forward. So again, I can bounce really quite quickly between clips, whereas before I would have to use the relevant key commands. Now I'm bouncing between these clips stupidly quickly, and it's just really, really cool that I can do that. So I'm absolutely loving this, this device, this mouse. It's been incredible for video editing. Quickly though, I wanted to just show you how cool it is for things like Zoom calls, if you do a lot of Zoom calls because of lockdown and COVID and things like that. Can't believe I'm going to blend it. What is a blended Big Mac meal like? That is the question we will answer today. So I don't know whether you've been in a Zoom call and you're flapping around trying to find the mute button, and you're trying to unmute yourself really quickly and equally mute yourself quickly as well. And you're flapping around and it's just a bit hard to do, isn't it? It's not dead easy to do. And the keystroke for it is a bit of a pain. It's, you know, it's annoying. It's sort of like Command W or something like that. And it's just not easy to do. Also, if I don't know whether you've been at the end of the meeting and you're sort of looking for that leave button, that big red leave button, you sort of think it would be easy to find, wouldn't you? But sometimes for whatever reason, it's sort of like your mouse is like flapping around, and those few seconds sort of feel quite awkward, don't they, really? You said bye and you're sort of trying to leave, but you can't find where the mouse pointer is, and it takes just a few seconds to actually leave the call. And I find that awkward as sort of a professional introvert, shall we say. So this mouse has really helped me fix those problems. So basically, if we bring up Zoom here, if I can find it, so bring up Zoom, start a new meeting of my own. I won't worry about inviting anyone else. What I've done is I've programmed the mouse buttons to do certain things. So I've made this mode button here. If I click that, I've done it so it quickly mutes me, so that's really cool. I've also programmed this button down here on the scroll wheel to end the meeting, which is great because at a click of a button I can end. I'm no longer flapping around trying to find the end or leave button. I can unmute myself, really dead simple. And also, if I wanted to screen share, I just click this thumb area down. I then select the screen that I want. I can even do a whiteboard, and I've got all the screen options there that I want to in order to share my screen. So this mouse has been absolutely incredible. I've only done a little bit of zooming with this mouse, but the times that I have used it, it's been absolutely amazing, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using it. Now, I picked up this mouse recently in the Christmas sales. I actually got it as a present and it was £35 in the UK, which is outstanding value. It is the Series 1 version of the MX Master series, but for that price I literally was upgrading from a wired mouse and a trackpad, so this was a serious upgrade for me, and at £35 it was incredible. I had to ask my wife to purchase it for me for Christmas, which she did because she loves me. Let's take a look at the ergonomics of this mouse. This mouse feels just brilliant in your hand. It feels as though it's almost like an extension of you. I've been using this for a few weeks now and it just feels so comfortable to hold for an extended period of time. It feels pretty darn premium as well. I would say it's got sort of like a silicone soft sort of feel to it, particularly around your thumb area, and it just feels absolutely outstanding. There are two more versions of this. I've got the oldest version. Each version obviously is a little bit better than the one before it, but watching a few comparison videos online, really there's not a huge amount of differences between the base model and the most recent model of this mouse. And basically the upgraded version of this mouse, they've just made some upgrades to each area really. So ergonomically, the latest version's a lot nicer. I think it's more raised and it feels a bit more sort of grippy in your hand, and also the buttons are a bit easier to use. I find these side buttons here just a bit weird in terms of trying to access them and find them, so I think they've improved that. The scroll wheel, I think on the most recent versions, are a lot easier to use as well. So there are some pluses to go in for the most recent version. So if you've got the cash to splash, then I would seriously consider just getting the most recent version. But if you're on a bit of a tight budget like I am, then well worth picking up the Series 1, and that won't give you, you'll be well happy with it if you're coming from a basic mouse setup like a trackpad or a wired mouse, which I'd sort of stupidly been using in some scenarios. So well worth picking this up. Whatever version you go for, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. The base model of this version, the one I have, comes in at £53.95. The MX Master 2S version, the next one up from the one that I have, comes in at £65. And the most recent version, the MX Master 3, comes in at £80. Now, I'm not quite sure whether the upgrades are worth that jump from my price of 35 when I got it in the sale all the way up to 80. I'm not sure whether I'd want to pay 80 quid for it. All I can speak for though is the mouse that I do have, and this one is flipping amazing. Let's live life on the wild side, people. I know this is a bit off-piste, shall we say, off of a normal tech review video, but I wanted to entertain you guys. I may as well show you now. You've actually got a battery indicator on the side. Now, one of the pluses of this mouse, and this is version 1 mind you, the mouse lasts for ages and ages. I've given it one charge and I've been using it constantly, basically day in, day out for the last 2 weeks, and it's still on like 90%. It's absolutely phenomenal. Apparently Logitech claim like 40 days of usage for this, which I can fully believe, to be honest. As I say, it hasn't given me any jip and I've been using it for 2 weeks, which is absolutely incredible. I haven't needed to charge it. The one thing with this mouse is that if the batteries do go kaput, the mouse has gone kaput, because as far as I'm aware, you can't easily remove the batteries. They are built-in rechargeable batteries. Is not using sort of like a AA set of batteries. So with this mouse, you can plug in the charger lead into the front of the mouse, which is really nice because Apple's Magic Mouse actually has the lead plugging in underneath, which is just like the worst design in the world, which everyone says. So it's just amazing from that point of view. So by the way, with the charging side of things, if you plug this in for 4 minutes, just 4 minutes from empty, it will give you 6 hours of use, which is just absolutely incredible. So really powerful sort of battery in this incredible piece of kit. Another point about this mouse is the fact that you can swap here between computers easily. So all you need to do is, if you've got several computers or 2 or 3 computers, you can actually press the button and it will instantaneously connect to whatever computer you've programmed those 1, 2 and 3 options to. I've even seen a video, I haven't tested this myself, where they move the mouse from a Mac to a Windows computer and back again instantaneously. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but if you know, drop me a comment below and I'll be really interested to hear about your thoughts on that and how that works. Ultimately, this mouse has been absolutely incredible, and I feel like, to be honest, that I've missed out on it. I should have got it like 6 years ago when it came out. So what are the gripes I have about this mouse? Well, I would say that the one thing I have noticed is when I'm on my Windows machine, it takes a second. Like if you stop using the mouse for, you know, a minute or so, and then go back to it, sometimes it will take a second for it to move the pointer on the screen, which at first I was like, what is going on? I can't see the mouse. It doesn't, you know, what's going on with that. But once I got used to it, it's not too bad. I would probably guess it might improve if I install the Logitech Options software onto my Windows computer, but because it's a work computer, I can't. So that's a shame that I can't use those features. But on my Mac, everything in terms of connectivity has been absolutely incredible. Like if I go to move the mouse after sort of an extended period of time having been away from it, there's no delay on my Mac. It works just fine. I'm more of a Mac person anyway, and I have to use Windows for work, so it doesn't particularly bother me that much. But that is one little gripe. And I've heard also, having watched a few other videos on comparisons, that this has been known to have some connectivity issues. So whether that is part of it, I don't know. But it's such a small point, and the mouse is incredible to use, and overall I love it so much. In terms of connections, just so you know, it does use Bluetooth, so you can just, you know, Bluetooth. I suspect you'd be able to plug it in via a USB lead as well if you really wanted to. Personally, I wouldn't need to, you know, I don't see the need to do that. It does come with a dongle as well, a really small dongle that is really easy to sort of lose. So I've just left it in my sort of mouse box. Don't plan on using it, but it does come with that option if for whatever reason Bluetooth isn't working properly on your machine or what have you. So it's got those 2 options in terms of connectivity, and like I say, it'll probably work if you plug it in with a wire, although I haven't confirmed that. One last thing, if you're like me and you like putting your laptop in your bag and taking it down to the local coffee shop and taking your mouse along with you, then you might want to pick up a hard case from Amazon. Now there are a few out there. I picked up this one for $7.99 and the quality is really, really nice. It does the job really nicely. Hard shell case. And even a little sort of indent there for the dongle if you wanted to use that. So highly recommend grabbing one of these if you're going to pick up one of these mice, because you just want to be portable. You want to be ready to grab and go at the drop of a hat. So yeah, just a tidbit of information there. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for sticking around this long. Hopefully this video has given you some value. If it has, please do remember to just, you know, scroll down a little bit and just find that little thumb and click on that little thumb. And then, you know, why not make your way over to the red button in the side, and, you know, that says subscribe, that one, that big red one that's just juicy and just calling out for you to click on it and just come and be a part of this community, whatever this community is. I don't quite know yet, but click on that button and just show your support, show me some love. Drop a comment below and tell me what you thought of this video, what you think of this mouse if you're using it already. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Not enjoy it if I Get this on the carpet. That's pretty darn disgusting. I'm not gonna have it all because it's gross, quite frankly. Here we go. Oh, the texture is like puke, but the taste isn't too bad. It sort of does taste like blended Big Mac. Can I attempt to have all of this? Because I feel like I need to, so about halfway through now. So I've just put a bit of water in it and we'll see how we get on. I thought my gag reflex would kick in by now, but to be honest, the actual taste of it fundamentally is like a Big Mac. Overall, it is definitely gross.
Let's go to Burger King, you can have your way with me. Cause you